Today on 10-Minute IT Jams, we have Dayle Barnes, who is the Partner Manager for New Zealand for Poly. So Poly is a global outfitter of pro-grade audio and video products, focusing on personal and group communication systems and solutions. So welcome to the Jam, Dayle.
Thanks for having me, Nick. Glad to be here.
Perfect, yeah. So to begin, can you just tell listeners and viewers who maybe aren't familiar with Poly, what are your key products and offerings?
We are a provider of high quality endpoint devices, and an endpoint device can be a headset, or it can be a handset, or it can be a small video camera, it can be a small huddle room, and then it can be a very large boardroom with 24 drop ball mics and 12 times pan tilt zoom cameras that give a great experience for the people in the room and the people on the far side. So we at Poly like to say we're an end-to-end provider, where we start with a small headset, a small conference phone, and roll all the way up to some of the largest boardrooms that are in New Zealand.
Cool. And so you're in the business of connecting people, and you did this before the pandemic, but now that vaccines are becoming widely available in the developed world, has the way you connect people changed as to before the pandemic? Is it different now?
Yeah, I think it has changed considerably, in that Poly was pretty much always at the upper end, and now we're pushing down into what you would describe as a prosumer market, because what people are saying is, near enough isn't good enough. And, if you're going to be working from home, nobody wants to go onto a call and go, oh my God, Nick's calling from home. And you might be leading this particular meeting and it's really crappy audio. Every second word's chip and someone's going, sorry, Nick, what did you say? What did you mean? And it all becomes disjointed and distracting. And two things happen. Number one, this is where I believe video fatigue comes in, is when I'm straining to hear every word you're saying. Or I just check out and go, Nick's at home, can't understand a word he's frigging saying. Let me go check my bid on Trade Me and see how I'm going for that device or whatever. And that's bad, because, you'll finish up the meeting thinking you've relayed everything to everybody, and half the audience is emotionally and basically checked out of the meeting and not collected half of what you're attempting to say. Because the reality is that it doesn't matter where you are geographically, at home, at the holiday house, on the side of a mountain with your mobile phone, you all have to be able to join that meeting, and you all have to hear clearly everything. And, if there's visuals and there's PowerPoint, you need to see them clearly. But, I think people have started to realise that voice is king, and it always is, and it always will be. It doesn't matter how good your video is, how good your cameras are. If I can't hear you, or I'm straining to hear you, we're either having a poor meeting or a bad meeting.
Yeah. So remote collaboration and communication tools and brands like Poly do a lot to facilitate productivity, especially in the last 12 months. So with the shift of this working style, what do you think organizations should do to empower their employees to work more productively?
I think, if they want to work productively, you've just got to create an environment and give them tools and equipment that is going to work really well, regardless of where they are. Buying a $50 headset from, one of the retailers is just a recipe for disaster. I know everybody's budget doesn't stretch to, a really expensive headset, but, giving somebody a headset that has a boom, has noise cancellation and, active noise cancellation. So if somebody's, the world of the heavy type, nobody wants to hear that. They want to hear the person that's talking. So having a headset that has the capabilities of blocking that out, non-verbal noise, makes for a far better meeting. And also, it's really distracting if you might be in a noisy cafe, and a lot of people are working from cafes now, that far noise with a poor headset that doesn't have active noise cancelling will transfer that to the far side. So the poor person on the far side is hearing a huge amount of background noise. And again, it comes back to struggling. Everybody needs a intuitive solution. So I need to be able to pick up my headset, it needs to connect to my laptop, it needs to connect to my mobile phone, and it needs the things that I just spoke about. But also when you walk into a boardroom, or if you're in a small huddle room, pardon me, the camera needs to dynamically just say, oh, there's just Nick in the room. I'll just frame Nick. Hi, Nick, how are we going? Then Nick's friend Jane turns up, it pulls out, and then Nick and Jane are talking. And then Jane's friend Jimmy turns up, and then you have three people. And it's just intuitive. And people, people just want simplicity. And I mean, everybody wants simplicity, unless you're a highly technical person, you want complexity. People want to walk in and they want to be sitting at their desk and go, oh, I'm here for the meeting with Nick from Tech Day. So I'm going to book the boardroom. So I book the boardroom, I go Nick's email address, and the boardroom is called the Pahutakawa because everybody's boardroom is called Pahutakawa. And you go to the Pahutakawa room, and then and we say we want Noreen coming in from up in Singapore and Dayle, and you put in and you walk into the room and you look at the little touch screen and it says Tech Day, IT Jam, join meeting, and you push join meeting, and it just all happens because IT teams do not have time to keep running in and out of video rooms to fix things because no one has that bandwidth. And you know what? It's stressful time, especially when you've got high-level, C-level people, needing to do maybe a really important call and things aren't working. It just needs to be simplistic. And also, I'd add that if you make it simplistic, be prepared for a massive take-up. Because once it's simple and easy, people will start to use it. When it's hard and awkward, they'll find other ways. They'll just sit at their desk and they'll just do a call like this. They won't go to the boardroom. Well, then that's not a really good experience. It's especially if you've got a laptop, it's that big, and half the real estate is the PowerPoint, and the other half is you. Or I can make you smaller, obviously, and make it all. But it's still not as good as looking at a screen, which I'm looking at now, with the content up here and then the people up there. So
yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah. So you might have already covered a lot of this in that answer just now, but are there any other more recent improvements or innovations in your products and offerings?
Well, as I said, we've pushed down hard into the prosumer market where we have our P15 product and our P5. And just to quickly cover those off, and maybe I'll run up and grab it right now. So this little beauty here is the P5, and it's a great little camera. It is a personal camera, so it is just for sitting at home or working remotely and having a call. One of the key things it does is it narrows the field of view, which is a complete opposite to what everybody's always tried to do. Try and get the super wide field of view so we capture everyone. But this camera is not for everyone. It's for a personal camera. So like if we're looking at Nick's room, and let's pretend you're in your bedroom right now, and we have a different manufacturer that has a wide screen, then we can actually see your bed and your clothes that are just piled in a heap and half a bucket of KFC that you didn't finish last night. And they're like, wow, what a slob Nick is. Look at the state of his bedroom. But we don't want to see your bedroom, Nick. We just want to see you. So having that narrow field of view allows for an absolutely far better experience. It also has the capacity to click in the back and you can put a dongle, because laptops today lack USB ports and the manufacturers seem to be taking them away, not putting more in. You can put your dongle straight into that, and you can have your headset and you can be having a meeting and not interrupting or annoying anyone right now. Like I'm using my laptop right now with you, and if there was somebody else in the room or person next door to me at the pod, they would be hearing me talking and you talking, and that's kind of rude. You can't really do a video call like that. It needs to be like you are with your headsets right now, so that there could be somebody sitting next to you. I mean, I don't know, may or may not be. And that allows it. And obviously, because it's USB, as is the P15, it's agnostic. So you can use Zoom, Google, Hangouts, Teams, WebEx. We don't care. It's USB. It's just a fantastic camera, fantastic mic, and allows people to have, a really good collaborative kind of meeting. And I guess we do have some products coming. I can't really talk to the actual name of the products and things, but it is next month. And we will be bringing a USB camera that I think is unmatched in the marketplace, because we've always sat quite high with the Eagle Eye Director, which has been a stellar product for us and will continue to be a stellar product. But that midsection has always lacked a little bit. And the product team, led by Tom Perot in Santa Cruz, has done an amazing job and fought long and hard about where is a sweet spot. And I think this product is going to be a champion product in the New Zealand marketplace, because it delivers on features and functionality. But more importantly, everyone's got a budget. It delivers on the budget component, because, New Zealand, and that's one of the few changes I've seen dramatically, is that products now fit the New Zealand market far better than it used to be. It used to be this big, expensive thing, regardless of technology. You have to squish it down or discount, a lot out of it to get it into a New Zealand environment. Whereas the price points we're dealing with now, they're phenomenal. They are, like, sometimes we have customers in here and their jaws drop and they go, how much? And it's not because it's how much, because it's too expensive. It's like, that seems awfully cheap for what it actually does. But, the boardroom video conferencing for the elite is a thing of the past. I mean, you can buy one of our USB, which has been a hero product for us here, the USB Studio, which, the Ministry of Education has got a couple of hundred of, Auckland DHB's got 100 of. Every marae, all of government, the maraes will be receiving a studio, an LG screen, and a Zoom license, and then that will allow remote places in New Zealand to connect back to government agencies back in New Zealand. Back into Wellington. So that product sits RRP of like $1,700 Kiwi. It does group framing, it does speaker tracking, it does smooth panning. The pickup on the voice on that is phenomenal. It really does give a really good experience in a small to medium room. So yeah, I think technology is getting pushed down, down and down and down. So if you're sitting at home, you can join the meeting and people shouldn't even know where you are. They won't go, ooh. I mean, obviously if they see your background, if you haven't blurred it like me with my turtle, they might, recognize it as your house. But, being able to be sitting there in a meeting, I don't know, chopping up and preparing the meal for the night before, and that active noise cancelling, no one can hear you banging away. It certainly allows people a lot more freedom than what we've had in the past. And I think the marketplace, so many companies said, oh, we can't work from home, we can't work from home. And, I love this saying, necessity is the mother of all invention. And when you have to do something, you will find a way. And I think a lot of people did, but then a lot of people realized that, I am working from home, I can do my job, but it's not a great experience. And, I'm straining to hear, or, people from the far side, I can't control my kids or the dog that's barking, or the courier guy knocking at the door, delivering the Uber Eats or whatever it is. All of that can be taken away, and people just won't even know where you are.
Well, that concludes today's 10-minute IT Jam with Poly New Zealand Partner Manager Dayle Barnes. Thanks for your time today, Dayle.
Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it.